answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey guys, it's Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another video. It looks like we have an update from Harada himself regarding Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Now, if you guys haven't checked out my video, I did a full extensive video backtracking and logging when this game was announced and all the steps and all the hurdles that Harada had went through and trying to figure out when he was going to release Tekken Cross Street Fighter. And I believe, like I said in my video before, that Capcom had pretty much ruined that chances or made it harder for Tekken, or made it harder for Bandai Namco to make that step into bringing this game out to the public. So now it looks like that Harada himself has came back and brought up some more details or what he think about Tekken Cross Street Fighter and when he wants to release it or hopefully reveal it. So in the article at Event Hubs, it says that Harada wants to release Tekken Cross Street Fighter, but admits it's harder to justify after almost 10 years since the game's reveal. Now, before I get into this article, like I said before, in the video that I had regarding this game, it looks like that Harada wants everyone to forget that this game exists. And the way this article in the headline states here, it seems like that Harada really doesn't want to release this game now. Like, it's been too long, and like I said, the excuse that he used before was the fact is that at the time Tekken 7 was on its way coming out, and of course Street Fighter 5 was in development, and he said he didn't want to split the community with these upcoming games. So we're going to dive into the article. Now, Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Tekken Cross Street Fighter were both revealed to the public all the way back in 2010 as a collaborative project between Capcom and Bandai Namco, but only the first of those games has ever made its way to the hands of the players. Now, Harada, Tekken longtime producer and director, recently spoke to VGC to discuss his passion for the crossover project, its current state, and logistical issues the developers face in making Tekken Cross Street Fighter a reality in the current market. So the last we heard about Tekken Cross Street Fighter status was December 2018, where Harada mentioned that the game's currently sitting on the back burner at around 30% completion. He also talked at the time about Akuma's inclusion in Tekken 7 coming about because of their work on Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Now, this is interesting because in my last video, I was speculating that this was that Akuma was pretty much recycled or reused assets or materials from Tekken Cross Street Fighter project and just brought over to Tekken 7, and here he's admitting it. And this must have been an article that I missed, or this said December 2018, so I haven't really covered anything past that video since then. So I pretty much missed that article. I'm definitely have to read that. But as I said before, he admits that he took Akuma from that project and pretty much put him in Tekken 7. It makes total sense. Now the Tekken director is still hopeful and passionate about the unreleased project. I don't know about that, guys, but the world is a very different place than it was 7 years ago and may not fit any longer. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. What do you mean it doesn't fit any longer? I mean, we got a bunch of crossover games that's coming out right now, that's out currently right now. I mean, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite just didn't work out well because that was just something that Capcom and Disney or Marvel had just screwed up on. And then we have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which is really that's really doing really well, and it has a nice size audience and a community that still plays the game passionately, and they're still updating it with more fates. So I don't know, that just doesn't make sense to me at all. So he says, yes, I am emotionally up for it, said Harada via VGC. I still want to release the game. However, as much as I want to proceed with the project, things have changed a lot since 2012. So I need to get approval, and I need to speak to Capcom again as well. They may say no now. Oh my God. Are you serious? And I don't know, because if I can remember, Ono and Harada did say that they really didn't know contract. They just came together and they just wanted to do the project and stuff. And I don't know, man. Like, what, do you just back out on that little agreement that they have? I still want to see this game, but things are not looking hopeful for this project, guys. And you know, it's a shame, man. I'm really looking forward to this, man. So On top of that, the face of Bandai Namco's esports initiative is worried that releasing Tekken Cross Street Fighter now could mess with the momentum and success of Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 while possibly dividing the communities for both series. I don't know that. I really don't know. I don't know. Would that really divide the community? I mean, Capcom fans are always going to play Capcom games. There's a lot of players out there who will play Street Fighter. They don't care how bad a Street Fighter game is, or they can complain about a Street Fighter game or a Capcom fighter all day, but they would not cross over and try other potentially good fighting game franchises. They would just stick to Capcom games. So I don't see this like dividing the community at all. I don't know why would they think that. I mean, at the time when this statement was first made, it made sense because Street Fighter 5 was coming out and Tekken 7 was coming out, and to just throw a crossover game in between that or on the rise, and when these games come out, it will overshadow Tekken Cross Street Fighter because of Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5 on the horizon. But these games been out for so long, for a pretty long time, you know, so the fan base pretty much has their established community right now, and they're just looking for more, you know, fresh content. Like Street Fighter 5 audience in the community still waiting for a season 4, you know what I'm saying? And Tekken Cross Street Fighter Tekken 7 is doing pretty well with their content, and they're updating the game with their season 2 pass and everything like that. So these games are pretty much they're settled in right now, and you can have the spotlight on the game more, you know what I'm saying? So he continued to say, when we're ready to progress farther with the project, Capcom released Street Fighter 5 and then released Tekken 7, said Harada. Those titles are some of the best fighting games ever, and they became very successful. Traditionally, the life cycle of a fighting game is very short, maybe 1 or 2 years, and then you make a sequel. But Tekken 7 is very successful as a service game with its DLC. Guys, like I said, we talked about this before, man. These games are services now, and he pretty much said it. Tekken 7 is a service. Street Fighter 5 is a service. These type of games are meant to last a very long time, and I think the thing they don't want Tekken Cross Street Fighter to do is to eat away at the, I guess you could say, the money that they're making off of these season passes, and you know, which for Tekken 7, and then it can affect, I guess, the economy for Street Fighter 5 and what they're trying to do with their games as a service as well. So that makes it much harder to justify releasing another game while Tekken 7 is still doing so well. Exactly what I said. Alright, so it appears at this point, if Tekken Cross Street Fighter ever does make its way into the hands of the fighting game community, that it will have missed an entire console generation. The title was originally planned for a PS3 to Xbox 360 release like Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but was pushed back in 2013 with the new PS4 and Xbox One on the horizon. And it looks like now that these guys are definitely this game's going to skip out even on this generation. This is crazy. So the only things we've seen publicly of Tekken Cross Street Fighter project were a few images of a prototype model of Ryu and the Tekken style back in 2010, as seen above in this article. So given the fact that Harada is still good friends with Ono over at Capcom, their original deal would likely still be valid. Like I said before, it just doesn't make sense. Why would Capcom say no when these guys pretty much shook hands on it and didn't really draft up a contract or anything? They just say, hey, let's just do this stuff like that. Valid, though it's looking like we'll still be waiting years before we actually see something concrete for the game if it ever resumes production, and that's sad, man. So that's pretty much the article here. In my opinion is, man, I was really looking forward to Tekken Cross Street Fighter, and as I said before, when I heard rumors circulating about Street Fighter and Tekken going head to head together, I was really against the idea, because I was saying, like, who would want this? And the only reason why I was against the idea was because of the two different play styles that the games had. One was a 2D fighter, one was a 3D fighter, and I didn't think that trying to blend those two together it would work too well, because they're from two different universes as far as gameplay is concerned. But they surprised us with Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and Street Fighter Cross Tekken was a fighting game that I didn't know that I wanted. As I saw the gameplay in action and seeing how well, in my opinion, that the Tekken characters were translated or transitioned over to the Street Fighter universe and put in 2D, I was super excited for the game after that. And I've been playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken since then, and I'm kind of upset and kind of bummed out that the game didn't do too well. And despite its controversy, the game was quite fun, and the game did require some skill. And now that the game is going, man, and there's really nothing left of the game. It just kind of sucked that we would never probably get a PS4 remaster of the original, because if they did PS4 remaster the original Street Fighter Cross Tekken, I would be on that game ASAP, and I would be live streaming it, doing videos about it and everything, because I love that game. And I understand it's not really a popular opinion, but I really enjoy the game. And I see Street Fighter Cross Tekken kind of like how Street Fighter Third Strike was. Street Fighter Third Strike wasn't highly received at all at the beginning, and then what happened was, after years went by, and as you know, the game had pretty much died down just a bit, there's been an uprise in the community, and people who had respect for the game because of how, you know, intricate the mechanics was and how solid the gameplay was, and everyone grew to like Street Fighter Third Strike. And I believe the same thing happened with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. There's a lot of people out there that's now reflecting on it and saying, actually, Street Fighter Cross Tekken wasn't that bad. And now I'm waiting for Tekken Cross Street Fighter. And what makes me super excited about this is, after seeing the 3D model of Ryu in Tekken Cross Street Fighter, I would love to see Bandai Namco's take on the Street Fighter characters, the detail. I definitely want to see my waifu Juri in the Tekken universe and how she would look. I love to see Cammy. I love to see Chun-Li. I would love to see Cody. I would love to see Guy. And especially now that Street Fighter V is out, I would love to see Laura. I would love to see a lot of other characters, Abigail. I think it would be pretty interesting to see what they do with these characters in the Tekken universe, you know. And then after seeing Akuma work in Tekken 7, after seeing how Akuma worked in Tekken 7, I said, you know what? It's possible. They can take a 2D fighter, and because the main worries I had was about projectiles. How would projectiles work? How would anti-airs work? You know, because Tekken is not about doing anti-airs. It's not really focused heavy on zoning with projectiles and stuff. How would they get that to work? And Harada figured out the formula. Him and his team figured out the formula and made Akuma work, which made me super excited. So, you know what? Street Fighter can fight Tekken on their turf, in their universe. And now just to hear this news that this game is pretty much in production limbo, and they're not sure what they're going to do, and they don't want to have this game affect their games as a service, which I talked about in the video, and I'll plug that in if you guys want to check that out, if a game as a service actually works or not. But now that they don't want this game to interrupt their economy as far as DLC is concerned for Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5. So that's pretty much my thoughts on this. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on Tekken Cross Street Fighter. What do you think about the current, you know, news or the current status of Tekken Cross Street Fighter? Things are looking grim for this game now. Will it ever come out? We don't know now. And if you guys haven't checked out my previous video, if you guys want to get an update, get a history of the production of Tekken Cross Street Fighter and Street Fighter Cross Tekken in general, I will post it at the end of the video, so you can click on the video and look through the video, because they had a lot of views and it's been supported really well. So I guess you could say this video in a way is kind of a follow-up to that video now, you know. So this is Mugen Lord. I'm wrapping this up. If you like the video, please share, pass it around, and I would say contact Harada on Twitter or something, talk to him about it or whatever, and see if you guys, because I really want to see this game actually happen. But other than that, hit the bell to be notified. This is Mugen Lord signing off. See you game fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below. And don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.